Welcome to another Qpython tutorial. Now in today's video I'm going to be talking about for loops. Now on our previous tutorial I talked to you guys about for loops and while loops and the basic concepts of how they work. Now in this video I'm going to be showing you a quick tutorial on how to use the for loops in Python. Now basically for loops through a kind of set or whatever you give it to loop through, or it just checks the number of times you tell it to move through a particular line of code, and it just does it for you. So I'm going to be using two examples to explain this to you. Now as you can see here, I have made a list, and the list involves Fabs, the name Fabs, Grace, and Frankie, Desmond, and Pascal. Now I'm going to use the for loop to show you guys how to move through a long list without having to write a particular stuff again and again and again just to suit everything in the list. So let's say for I in names, and guys, we're using basically this variable name here, so that's what we're using here. So we just say for I in names, and this particular stuff here, the I, you can use whatever you want. So you can say for name in names or whatever you want to use, but I'm just going to call it I because I is what people generally use a lot, and let's just call it for something is too long, let's just say I. So let's say for I in names, then you add to the next line, hit this right here like I told you guys before, and let's just give it a code and say print, sorry for that, print let's just print out I, and print out, let's say I have a friend named, that's it. And then on this part we say the name, so we just say I. So basically what this does is that it loops through this list called names, and it's going to run this code the first time, and then it's going to loop through the list again to pick out the second one and run this code the second time. It's going to loop through this list again, and so on and so forth. It's going to continue that way. So basically it's going to say I have a friend named, print out this. Second time I have a friend named, print out this, and so on. So now let's save this our code and let's just test it out and see the output it gives us. Says I have a friend named Fabs, I have a friend named Grace, Frankie, Desmond, and Pascal. Now when you have like lists of like 1 million people or users that log in, and you want to give them a message every time and say welcome this, welcome that to this new website or to this new game or whatever, this is how you loop through this and just write out the message again and again, changing the name. So you don't have to write a whole lot of text just to please your user or whatever. You can just do this and just save yourself a lot of stress. Now you can also do something like for I in range. Now what this does is that it tells Python how many times a certain line of code should run. So I'm just going to say maybe let's just say 5 times, and basically let's give this an input. So let's just hit this and let's just say input, and let's add this, and let's say just give it simple stuff saying enter. Now what this is going to do is that it's going to ask us to input something 5 times, nothing more than that, just 5 times. Let's see what it gives us. It prints out the first one. Oh yeah, I forgot to do that, I am really sorry. Now the reason why this is not running is because when making ranges with for loops, you have to use the parentheses in this case over here. So you can just say closing your parentheses here and open one here, and let's just change this to a variable. Let's call this var, and just say print out, let's just print out var. Every time we type in the code, just print out var. So basically this is going to loop through and print out whatever we give to it. So let's just save this our code and let's just run it and see the output it gives us. As usual, it's going to print out the number stuff and it's going to ask me for this. I'm just going to type in G, enter, U, enter, and so on. So it asks me for the input 5 times and I've given that, so it prints out it for me. So basically that's how to use for loops in Python. If you would also want to use something like for I in range, and you just want to print out numbers and nothing more than numbers, you could just say 1 to maybe print out numbers from 1 to 20. This could be from 1 to 19. So basically if you want to print out from 1 to 20, you could say 21 and just do this, and just that's all. So all you have to do now is say print I, and then you're good to go. So let's save this and let's just remove this so we don't have to write inputs every time. Yeah, yep, okay. Now let's just save this our code and let's run. This should print out the values from 1 to 21. Yeah, 20, that's it. So it gives you the value from 1 to 20. So that's how to use for loops to print out numbers or ranges in Python. And our next video I'm going to be talking to you guys about while loops in Python, and basically using the while loops is very great in Python. So please do not forget to like this video, share and subscribe, and please hit that like button. I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. Thank you.